if we take this assumption that we want to work in this space, I'm slowly centering on there are 5 things that matter. Right? There are 5 aspects that push and pull and form what I'm calling the navigation compass for your journey. It begins with first choosing a cause. What do you care about? There are causes that you feel more strongly towards, and there are causes that you don't feel strongly towards. So, as Vijay would say, what makes your heart sing would be what you center on. The question is, there are some people who say, I don't mind what the cause is. For me, it's about what my conscience is. Like, am I minimizing the harm that I'm doing and maximizing the good that I'm doing becomes my underlying choice, right? So, yeah, it doesn't matter. The cause doesn't matter. There are people like that as well. So that's the first question that comes. So there are people who say that I will never work for a certain type of company. Like I'll work in the corporate sector, but I'll never work for a certain type of company because that is, I care deeply about that particular aspect. There are more fundable causes and less fundable causes. Second is once you kind of know what cause you want, second becomes what is the role that you want to play. Do you want to be a data analyst working towards social sector or social sector adjacent problems? Or do you want to be working in a leadership support role? There are people who enjoy playing chief of staff, right? Because for them, they're like, I mean, there was a point of time where my journal reflection was that I'd make a fantastic second in command. I'm not very good at envisioning things, but I'm very good at translating somebody's vision into reality. That was my phase of, or that was my reflection at one point. Um, and the third thing that I would say is the people. Who do you enjoy working alongside? Whose work do you think is worth amplifying? Whose values do you resonate strongly with? Right? Because at the end of the day, that entire portion of your life you're going to be spending with people like that. So, what makes a journey worthwhile? So, every workplace has its benefits, has and signature of the people that it attracts. Right? So that becomes the next question that you have. And finally, the fourth one, which is the personal needs that you have. So there are people who have a certain, I mean, all of us have a certain amount of finances that we would need. There are people who have locational constraints, saying, I have to live in Delhi because my grandmom is there for the next few years, or I cannot live in Delhi because I get asthma. Right? I don't know why I keep dinging Delhi. Sorry about that. Or it's the most relatable example. Or there is a pollen allergy that you have in Bangalore. Let me be fair to cities. Or the fact that I need to be where my family is, so I have to live in Mohali, right? And so I can only look for roles in Mohali. Or I have a child with special needs. I need to be in a place where there are schools that I could send the child to. So whatever your needs are they are real and not to be ignored, and you work within those constraints, right? So or so there are many, I mean, I gave very stereotypical examples, but there are an incredibly vast number of examples you could pick from. Or it could be, and let me shift to not just underlying needs but also aspirational needs. I would like to pursue a PhD, right? Because I just want to have a doctor title behind my name, and I need to do that in I want to do that in Oxford. I've just had this fascination. So I will end up moving to London or that part of the world. Okay, so what do I do in a way that I can still continue to meaningfully add in? Right? It just is how it is. And finally, the thing that drives all of this is what some of you also put on chat. At the core, the push and pull of cause versus personal needs, role versus people, all of this is determined to a large degree by your values and your identities. Right? Values, why? There are people who've been brought up to say that social sector matters, which is why all of us are on this call. Right? But you will also have certain values which are I will never work for a company that, you know, that expressly makes society worse in a way that I understand. Or there will be like, I don't like urbanization, I will work against urbanization. So that cause is driven by the values that you hold, right? I think the weakest should have a voice. And hence somebody goes into journalism, choosing the role that they want to play. So that is number one, the values that you hold. And knowing those values is helpful to determine what fits best. And second is your identities. And I use the plural on purpose. Right? So Girish might be he is somebody who wants to have meaningful social impact, but he also wants to be a musician and he also wants to be a good son. These are, for example, multiple identities which are competing for my discretionary time. Calling it out, being clear on what your identities are, then helps you to put time against it. Girish is a reader. So Girish needs to spend time reading to continue to be a reader, right? So that kind of, and it might be orthogonal to social impact, and that's okay. And so these become the five things. Again, not rocket science, I understand, but somewhere a helpful starting point for reflection to say where is it that you are today and what are these dimensions that you need to reflect on. And of course, this will be an evolving choice.